going on, everyone? Welcome to the Season Gaming Bitcast. This is episode 74, again.
Redux.
So, if you follow and listen to us, apologies on last week. We did record episode 74, a full episode last week, and the sound file on it, and Dan's pointing at himself. We had a screw up with the video, and long story short, we could not salvage it. So we had to take a week off, and it's a shame because we had a pretty solid show. In fact, and I'm going to mention this, and you guys can't deny it because it's in the record books, it was the first time that one of us guests named that game on the first question, which was for Limbo.
Yep.
And I got it, and I think Bert purposely edited the episode out so that no one got to see that. But
yeah, he said it was very, very hard. It's going to be a little bit harder one this week.
Yeah.
Bunch of nonsense, and it didn't happen. Don't believe it.
It's crazy. It did happen, though.
Thank you.
Yep.
So, anyway, sorry about that. We're back. Dan on my left, Mr. Easy Mode. We've got South of the Border on the other side here. And we're going to kick it off with Sony State of Play and probably all of our favorite news this week. Last of Us 2 being the focal point of the show. But they showed some other things. I'll run down this kind of list and then we'll talk about Last of Us and the other stuff. So, the Medieval demo is out. That game went gold a little while ago. You can play the demo. And you get a free cosmetic item for when the game releases in October. Death Stranding. I said we're not going to talk about it again until release, and yet here we are a week later. They're going to have a special edition PS4 Pro, so take a look at that if you like limited consoles. Wadum is the new game from the Katamari. Is it Damacy? I never know how to pronounce that. Let's go with it.
Damacy. Yeah.
Katamari Damacy creator. Looks as weird as you would expect. Humanity, another game that they opened the show with that looked kind of interesting. In fact, going way back, it reminded me a little bit of Lemmings. And then big PS Plus October month. They got Last of Us Remastered, so obviously building on that hype. If you haven't played that game, you should be listening to this right now anyway, so go do it. And then the other game is The Show 19, which is a really nice addition considering that only came out about 4 or 5 months ago, so really neat. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and touch on some of these things. Whoever wants to kick us off, probably start with Last of Us, I'm sure.
Yeah, go for it, Bert.
Okay. Well, Last of Us looked amazing. I was having a brief conversation with you guys on chat, and I'd say the art style or maybe the way they've designed some of the characters looks a little different from the original trailer. Like, Ellie just looks and moves different, but I'm not saying that as a negative in any form. It's just interesting to see what the game turned into from the original trailers that we see. So I think it looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. Got Collector's Edition reserved. Got the Ellie Edition reserved. Maybe I've just reserved too many things.
Got the statue reserved.
Got the statue reserved. So for people that aren't aware, it's one of my top 3 games of all time, the original. And so me seeing the sequel and getting to play it is something that I'm just super excited for. So I can't wait for that. One thing that I thought was interesting looking was Humanity. I thought the trailer looked really cool. I don't know what the gameplay is going to look like. I don't know what the goal of the mission really is at the end of the day. But I thought it looked really neat. I really enjoyed what I saw there. The Death Stranding Pro, if you're into that game, I think this might be a console that you might want to get. I don't think it's like a must-buy or anything, but the controller looks interesting, and that skin of the PlayStation 4 looks cool too. I haven't started Medieval yet, but I'm going to give that demo a try. So overall, I think it's one of the better state of plays that we've seen in a long time. I think the format has emulated the Nintendo Direct quite a bit.
To a T.
So if you did enjoy the Nintendo Direct format and you haven't watched State of Play, this is going to be exactly like it. It's under 30 minutes. It's short. The format, even some of the animations were a little too close to comfort to Nintendo Direct. So, but it's cool. I mean, it's good to see they finally nailed it down. So I enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to prefer this format over anything else because it's just quick. It gives you the info and you're out of there. I'm fine with that. As far as what was in there, obviously Last of Us 2, I mean, we can't say any more about it because it's awesome. And everybody will be playing it, at least in this podcast, as soon as it comes out. As far as everything else, I mean, Humanity looked a little weird to me. And Wadum definitely looked weird. But the big thing, I mean, with having the show 19 and The Last of Us, that's a huge October.
Oh, yeah.
The
Can't
PS
wait.
Plus. Oh, man. now I'm kind of questioning my purchase. Back in the when I bought the show when it came out, because I played a lot of it and it was really good.
But to be fair, you question a lot of your purchases.
Yeah, I do. That is true. Everything else, I mean, it was just kind of like, yeah, cool. The Death Stranding controller, I think, is kind of a missed opportunity. Because they could have, I've seen some renderings with like the little baby inside of it, just like and I think that would have been awesome. Short of that, I mean, it's another Sony Pro thing. So,
yeah, they're not the best. Their effort is pretty low on this.
Yeah, it's pretty much
people
just,
get pumped for them, but
buy them, man.
Yeah.
You like them? Awesome.
But yeah, I'm with you. You both joked about it, but yeah, it looks like there's again a couple stickers on a white console, of the handprints.
It looks like the Dark Brotherhood symbol. But I didn't notice that the other day I was watching the podcast and it has the continents.
The continents.
Yeah, did not know it.
No. Yeah, a lot of people did, and I saw that on Reddit too. But you're right, like the Gears 5 is really well done. Would have been cool if they had a little baby like living under a layer. Like that would have been cool.
I might have bought it. 100%.
Yeah, I could speak about Last of Us forever, as everyone said. That's one of all three of ours most anticipated games. Had to break the shirt out today for it. Medieval, I do want to play the demo. I haven't played it yet, so I've got to do that. And I'm actually excited about the show. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I like baseball games. And so I nearly picked this up when it released. I'm glad I didn't now. So, joke's on you, apparently.
Yeah, it always is. Usually is.
Touch on this real quick, guys, because it was a huge thing of controversy this week, as usual, as everything is in the gaming industry, it seems. But Last of Us 2 is not going to have multiplayer. So Naughty Dog released a formal statement about this, essentially saying that they were working on it. It wasn't really kind of coming together exactly how they wanted, though they know the fan base loves it, the factions multiplayer. And so they are going to release something in the future, but they've kind of alluded to the fact that it'll be standalone. It's not going to ever be part of The Last of Us 2 as it exists. So, not really sure what that means. Not sure if they're turning into a standalone Last of Us multiplayer title, if it's going to show up in some other form. I'm not a big multiplayer fan. I did play multiplayer in Last of Us because I always try multiplayer. I never got into it, but I know some people are really kind of, it did have a community behind it. So it seems kind of weird that, even though Last of Us 2, the story is the core focus. The characters in the story are far and away the biggest thing. It does seem kind of weird that they kind of scrapped it from this, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't know who plays it, man.
Go ahead, Dan.
Oh, it's got a big community.
I mean, I didn't even know it had one. Until recently, I had no clue. So, I mean, cool, I guess. I mean, they did that kind of with Crackdown too. I mean, not to a as big of an extent or big of a game, obviously, but they released that multiplayer separately from the base game. So it's people get upset about everything.
Oh, I know.
And it's just to the point now where, I'm not quite sure if they really intended on doing it until this like outrage all of a sudden. Because then Naughty Dog put up a thing was like, we're hiring for multiplayer or something. I was like, really? No? Okay.
Yeah, maybe they thought people wouldn't care as much. I don't know.
Yeah, they did, man. They sure did. Oof.
Yeah, I don't have much to say on this one. Out of any Naughty Dog, not just Last of Us, I haven't really played any of the multiplayers. I tried the Uncharted one just for a trophy to see if I could get them and level up to a certain level, and I just didn't get into it very much. Last of Us, I have never even attempted the multiplayer, which is interesting. I've gone back and got all the trophies from the original Last of Us on PlayStation 3, then the remastered, and then even Left Behind, which is the DLC. So I don't care that it doesn't have a multiplayer. I was kind of surprised to see the outcry and that the fact that Naughty Dog had to make a statement on it. I think it was kind of sad for a game that is supposed to be as big and deep as it's going to be, and it's supposed to be a pretty big, like, hour-wise game as well. So it's supposed to be pretty long. So I was surprised. That's all I got to say.
Gotcha. All right, yep, we'll go ahead and move on. So, same day as State of Play, we got an Inside Xbox, and we were kind of joking about Sony stealing the Nintendo Direct format and being super concise. Well, Inside Xbox is kind of the opposite. I think we all agreed this was not the best showing for Inside Xbox. I'm usually the one who kind of enjoys the extra talk and time between games. This one just felt a little rough, a little rushed. A lot of jokes that just kind of landed really, really flat. But anyway, some of the content was good. So we have, the biggest thing is that xCloud preview is nearly here. Signups are live if you have an Android device and a Bluetooth Xbox controller, which is pretty much most of the controllers since 2016-ish. Go ahead and check that out. I think it's xbox.com/game streaming. So you can sign up now. They talked about Atlas, which is a new pirate game from the developers of Ark, Survival Evolved, which looks a lot like Sea of Thieves, but in realistic format. It's kind of strange. Talked a lot about Outer Worlds. We'll touch on that. A game called Children of Morta, which is an ARPG indie title, which looks interesting. They showed the first expansion for Hitman 2, or the next expansion for Hitman 2, and then announced Civilization 6, which is coming to both PlayStation 4 and Xbox in November. We'll touch on that first, guys. They also did 2 days later, kind of weird they separated them. They did an 11-minute ID at Xbox separate kind of mini conference, which out of all of these things we're talking about, State of Play, Inside Xbox, Nintendo Direct, I actually like the ID at Xbox video the best because it was kind of an in-between. You had game after game, video after video, but you had a few little developer interviews and things interjected in there, and I thought that was really good too. So. What, Dan, I know you're signed up for xCloud, which is awesome. Anything else jump out to you? What are you excited about here?
As far as all that stuff goes, I mean, number one, I need to say this. The guy, the dev for Atlas and his shirt, never, ever wear that thing again.
Was he trying to look like a pirate or something? I don't know.
Maybe it was like an old, I don't know. That button, I was just like, what is going on?
This is for our older viewers. It reminded me of the whole pirate shirt on Seinfeld.
Oh,
he's like,
Seinfeld?
I have to wear this
the
shirt.
Puffy shirt.
The puffy shirt, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be a pirate. No, so yeah, that's what I took away from this whole Inside Xbox. Nice. It was the shirt. No. I'm actually pretty excited about the Hitman 2 thing. Here's the thing with that game. I love playing through it. I really had a good time with it. There's so much more content now. And they keep supporting it, and there's a whole bunch of more missions. So I really want to kind of get back into that if I have time. I'm just trying to find that time in the craziness that is this fall. Yeah. I'm super excited for Outer Worlds. At this point, I'm good not seeing anything else till it releases.
Yeah. So it's out in 3 weeks.
Yeah, in 3 weeks. Right? And so I am excited about the preview. I'm hoping I get in. I'm kind of hedging my bets because, of course, I already bought the adapter for the controller. I actually downloaded Fortnite because I have a Samsung, so I was able to play some Fortnite with it. Just Bluetooth, very, very responsive. I mean, that's, maybe a little bit different, but it worked great as far as the controller goes. I've never used one with my phone before, so we're going to see how it goes, man. I'm going to play a lot of Sea of Thieves on it.
Yeah, sure. I can imagine. Imagine playing Sea of Thieves anywhere.
Oh, man.
That's pretty cool.
Like, every day I go to my in-laws, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. They're going to be like, what are you doing? Nothing. I don't like talking to you people. So, that's what's going to happen.
I don't even know what to say about Inside Xbox. It was a very strange thing for me. I found myself forced to watch it just to be able to talk about it. I'll just say that. I had to watch it in 3 different parts. I got home from work because I didn't get to watch it live. Started watching it, and I was like, what is this? This is, like, really poorly done. There was a few, as you said, just kind of cringe-worthy moments where they tried to force in jokes, and they didn't go really well. There was a moment where, like, Ricari tried to do a high-five thing with the other girl, I forgot her name, and just left her hanging or whatever. I was kind of like, okay, it was so acted out. Like there was nothing organic about the conversation that was taking place. And then the other thing that was really negative is it was just too long. I don't know where that sweet spot is. I really think somewhere between the 30 to 45 minute sweet spot, unless you're unleashing some major big news. But this was more of like, you already know about this stuff. This is what's coming out. Let's just kind of go over it in deeper detail and have it kind of in a fun format. And I just think it landed kind of flat. One thing that's weird for me about xCloud is that it's only launching here really in the States at the moment, and Android is not one of the bigger OSs stateside. I mean, if you're launching Euro-wise and APAC, Android is really big over there, but here in the States, Apple is really the dominant cell phone, and we can't get it. So iPads, all that stuff, we can't get it for a long time. So I know, Dan, you're on is it the Note that you're on?
Yeah, I got the Note 9.
Yeah. So You have to let me know how it runs on there because that's a big, massive screen on there. Whereas the other more common ones is, I guess, the Pixel, maybe the standard Samsung S10 or whatever to see what that looks like.
Yeah, but, at E3, what was it? The Galaxy 8, 9?
S9?
S9,
Yep.
I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So I'm really curious to hear how people play. I'm not the biggest mobile player, but I will say that it will be kind of fun to play, even inside my own house. Like if I'm laying in bed ready to go to bed or something, and I want to just put the controller there, that will be kind of cool. But I really want to hear what people's feedback is if they're using it that much instead of couch play on a TV. So Outer Worlds is the other one I'm super excited for. I really can't wait to play that game. That's going to scratch an itch that I've had for a very long time because I didn't care for Fallout 4 very much. So I really can't wait to play that one.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think it's actually coming at a perfect time, despite coming in the middle of fall, because it's a very unique game among the other games that are releasing. And as we were talking about last week, which no one will ever hear, there's a lot of people out there, all of us included, that really like these kind of choice-driven narrative RPG type games. Almost like the classic BioWare style. So, and since BioWare is officially dead, this will hopefully fill that void.
Oh, damn it.
I'm going to be curious to see how this game sells on the PS4 and PC because, as we know, right, this is Private Division published. But I'm curious to see what those sales numbers look like compared to on the Xbox because, so many people will probably be playing this through Game Pass. I just think that'll be interesting.
Oh, that one's an Epic Game Store exclusive too, isn't it? Or is that one coming out on Steam?
I don't know. Bert, do you know by chance? Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I thought it was. Maybe it's not.
I don't think so. I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah.
Borderlands was the biggest kind of controversy recently.
Well, then the Ubisoft game, or the Coast Recon, I think is
Breakpoint.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on from those, I think we all agree Inside Xbox needs to do something a little different. They've got to fix that format up a little bit and stop being. I hate using the word because I find it cringy to begin with, but it was almost cringy at times. I was watching it and just like, oh boy, come on, guys. So anyway, moving on. A couple other things to talk about here, including Apex Legends. So Apex Legends, we've talked about a lot recently. In fact, we talked about Crypto, the new Legend that's coming soon, and I think at the time we were saying they really need to mix up more with Apex Legends. We need something like a new map, new stuff to do, new challenges, etc. So funny enough, we're getting Crypto and a new map October 1st. I mean, we know Respawn's big listeners, so they probably heard our cries and developed this map, last week. But it comes out October 1st, probably as you're listening to this. So October 1st is what, Monday? I think? Tuesday? Yeah. Tuesday, yeah. So pretty excited about this one. I know, Dan, we talked about this before. You're not really interested here, but I think Bert, probably would be fair to say we'll be checking this out for sure.
Yeah, and one of the things that's interesting about the teaser, we have not seen the map laid out or anything. There's not been like a picture of the map, but it looks like they're going to be using weather elements quite a bit on here. The biggest thing they had is like molten lava and ice, and they're kind of hitting each other, and there's something going on with the map, and I have a feeling maybe that's what the ring is going to be. It's going to be something to do that's coming from fire or ice at you, depending on where you are on the map. So far, I mean, we've seen a teaser with Crypto and the map all in one. So I want to see more about that. I think they're just going to kind of release the map on Monday or Tuesday, so you're going to have to see it that way. But yes, it does need a refresh. I don't care about the new skins and stuff for the characters. Bring me a new map, bring me some new gameplay elements, and then you might get me back into it. But as of right now, Apex has been kind of way on the backlog to even care about what's coming out new with it.
Yeah, especially with all the stuff coming this fall, one of which, Modern Warfare. Segue. So Modern Warfare, we've got a new campaign trailer during State of Play, and then we actually got another story trailer a day or two after. So a couple things to touch on here, guys, and another outrage moment. So first, let's touch on the campaign trailer. I think it looks really, really good. Kind of what we've been hoping for out of Modern Warfare and what we expected, and it looks like it's definitely going to have that kind of Hollywood vibe that we get from some of the better Call of Duty campaigns. So really, really pumped to play this.
Yeah, I haven't been this excited for a Call of Duty since I think Modern Warfare 2. And
That's way back now.
That's way back then, yeah. I mean, it looks so good. And like the production value just in the trailers, I was just like, man, this is going to be hopefully awesome. I actually enjoyed, what was it, Infinite Warfare?
Yeah,
Is that the
great
one?
campaign.
Yeah, that was a really good campaign. And then, other stuff happened. We didn't get one last year, but I'm really, really excited for this campaign. I will be playing that probably day one, and I might even venture into the multiplayer a little bit.
Nice.
Watch
Let's do it.
Watch it.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the Modern Warfare campaign trailer looks almost next gen to me. The facial animations, the animation of the characters moving through the buildings that we're talking about, how they've got experts in the military fields to talk about how they built that out. Some of the footage that they showed, I was joking with you guys, it looks like a Michael Bay film, but with an actual story. So I hope it's going to be that good. It looks that good. They've redone some of the characters, so if you remember Price from the original Modern Warfares, he's back, and they've kind of reshaped the way he is as far as personality-wise, and I can't wait to play it. It's now turned into one of my most anticipated games of the fall, so it just looks fantastic. I can't wait to get on not only campaign, but multiplayer, so it looks great.
Yeah, and Bert and I played some multiplayer together last week, including the 6-on-6 standard multiplayer and the ground war, which is 32-32, and it's pretty much like Conquest at a battlefield. There's like 5 or 6 points, there's vehicles, it's utter chaos. Yeah. And but it's a lot of fun, and I've always wanted a bigger mode in Call of Duty. I'm one of those guys that likes those big modes where it's a little more strategic. You can be a sniper, or you can sneak around, or you can just go full assault, and I've always preferred that. So I think that having a really good campaign, having solid multiplayer, and having big team, and even 2-on-2 gunfight mode is a lot of fun too. I think this is just going to be one hell of a package. So cool. And so let's talk about the controversy with this one real quick, and we don't have to spend too much time on it. But we found out that PlayStation, or Sony, still has the marketing rights, and what that means with Activision in this entry for Call of Duty is that the Spec Ops mode, which is the kind of co-op, mission-driven mode, that used to be in the old Modern Warfares, is coming back. And the mode will be in all versions of the game, but there's a setting for the mode, a survival setting, which is kind of like Horde. It's like co-op versus waves of enemies. That will only be on the PlayStation for a year. So no PC, no Xbox support until October of 2020. And, obviously goes without saying, by then there'll be a new Call of Duty. So, again, this is one of those that, realistically, I probably wasn't going to play this anyway, because I'm a multiplayer, PvP guy. That's just how I like to play typically. But I think it's fair to say that all of us want this exclusivity for modes and maps and just anything, just to F and go away.
Yeah.
It's just getting tiresome at this point, and it doesn't even make any sense. It's bad business.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous, personally. I mean, the maps thing, I even had a problem with, even though you would get them 2 weeks later on other consoles and PC. But now that we have entire modes being exclusive content, I think that's ridiculous. I think Destiny also had the issue where there was maybe a mission or something that you would get if you
a strike.
A raid or something. If you would get, and then that was a long exclusivity deal as well. So these deals where you're not getting a complete game at launch is kind of ridiculous to me. I'm not going to boycott it. I'm not going to sit here and write some long diatribe on Twitter or something about how ridiculous it is. But yeah, there's some big things. That's what happens when you get me this early in the morning. A little bit of knowledge comes out. But no, I think it is ridiculous. I will say Spec Ops is a fun mode to play with your friend and have like a mission to go through. The Horde mode was not its best part of Spec Ops, I will say that. It's cool, it's fun to play, but it's not something that people will play back to back like a Horde mode in another game. So, whatever. Let's screw you, Sony and Activision, that's all I can say.
See, it doesn't bother me too much. I mean, I understand the business side of this stuff. I think it's garbage that, it's still happening, but and here's the thing for Xbox players, that main that console, they're never going to get something like this, like to this extent, I think, anymore. Maybe back in the day they would.
No, Microsoft has said they don't want to do deals like this anymore. Exactly.
So you're never going to see that on that console, People are comparing it to like Tomb Raider, when they had it for a year on the Xbox.
That's not a right comparison.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, Microsoft helped fund that development.
Exactly. Now, for this, I mean, it's a mode in a mode. if you
Mode section.
yeah, it just isn't that big of a deal. The devs came out and said it's like 1% of the game. If you really
Which only like poured fuel on the fire.
yeah, and okay, fine. You give me my 1% back. Charge me 60 cents less for the game, and then you'll be happy. Because that's what everybody's upset about, is that they're paying the same price for less content.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's such a small part. It's not really worth getting upset about. And if you really want to go have that thing, buy a PS4, I guess, because you're going to see it a lot more often, probably. It's just, the Activision's going to be sitting there, wiping your tears away with their $100 bills is what's going to happen. It's not going to, they don't care.
No,
it's all
Activision
about the
definitely
money.
doesn't care.
Yeah, that's it. And they didn't have to offer this. I don't even blame Sony. It's like, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, in fact, the creative director came out and said, compared to some of the other options that he saw on the table, this was by far the least egregious.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I think if it wasn't for crossplay support, they probably still would have had the map exclusivity for 30 days or whatever. So I'm just glad that's gone, because like I said, I'm a multiplayer guy, so the fact that we get everything day and date and can play with PS4 and PC players is cool. In fact,
I mean, that's a huge thing, man.
Yeah, when Bert and I were playing with PC players.
That's
which was cool. So, all right. A couple other little things to touch on, and I know you guys will be excited about this one, is that Warner Brothers Montreal is finally starting to tease a new Batman game. And in particular, the teaser they put out this week had four little, it was an animated thing of four little icons, and one of them was recognized as the Court of Owls symbol, which has long been the rumor for this. The strange thing here is that they teased it right before State of Play and Inside Xbox, and so everyone assumed it was going to be on State of Play. It wasn't. So everyone assumed, oh, maybe it'll be on Xbox, and it wasn't. So they just picked a really strange time to tease this, because they teased it. They had these two events. It was not mentioned, and then they haven't said anything since. So, but long story short, we do have confirmation new Batman game is coming, and it does look like it's Court of Owls. Now, keep in mind, this is the developer. It's not Rocksteady, who made the Arkham series. It's, Bert, you know this better than me. It's the group that made Origins, right?
Yep,
Okay.
WB Montreal. Yeah,
WB Montreal, who made Origins. Still, from what I hear, haven't played it, but still a very good game from what I hear. So, you guys talk a little more about this because you're more well-versed.
Yeah, go for it, Bert.
Yeah, so WB Montreal takes pretty much the assets from Rocksteady and they build a game out. They don't really create anything from a tools perspective from scratch. And so if you are a fan of the Arkham series, you're literally getting another Arkham game. And so I'm super excited about this. The one thing that has been a little frustrating is even from Rocksteady before the whole Justice League rumor came out that this is going to be what they were working on, and now it's going to be something different. And this Court of Owls thing has been rumored for a very, very long time. One of those, I think it was 4chan or 8chan or something, they released this is what the game is going to be. They tried to let go a few of the concept art that was there. So the Court of Owls has been in talks for a very long time. I just want to see it. Please come out. I have a massive itch for another Arkham game, and I hope it's good. So you were alluding to the fact that Origins was a good game. It was fantastic. It's I actually have it as number 3, my 3 favorite Batman game behind Arkham City and Arkham Knight. So it's fantastic. So please be real. Please be a good story. And from the rumors that have come out, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Should see someone about that itch, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of itches going on these days.
Yeah, man. No kidding. It's super gross. Yeah, bring it on, man. That's what I got to say. I'm tired of waiting, man. Just give me some more Batman. I love those games.
Yeah, and I think I was listening to other podcasts as I always do, and I'm pretty sure the last Batman game was correct me if I'm wrong here, 2014.
It's a long time ago.
So
Gosh, was that long ago?
Arkham Knight, yep.
Or 2015. It was one of those because I think they were saying that's going to be basically 5 years since we got a Batman game by the time this releases. So, damn. All right. Lastly, quick note on Borderlands 3, which we're going to be talking more about. But they've released the first title update and a couple hot fixes that have adjusted the game. So this is pretty interesting, and the only reason I wanted to talk about it is because the title update fixed, modified some things around performance and some bugs. But it seems like they built this game with the ability to hotfix things on server side a lot. Like they can modify the game pretty greatly instantly, which is interesting because yesterday they released a hotfix as we record this anyway, and they buffed Zane. They changed some of his action skill damage significantly. They changed the way snipers and pistols function. They changed the way that some of the manufacturers, the damage settings for those. They modified the legendary rate drops for a whole bunch of specific mission like bosses. And so they're moving very quickly to kind of keep this game in line with what players expect and where their challenges are. So if you're not familiar with Borderlands 3, Zane, who I actually main, is considered endgame. He's considered a little weak compared to the other three. He just doesn't have the damage output as the other three. So they're taking quick steps to try and help that a little bit. So long story short, I think this is really cool. I think that their capability to adjust things like this instantly for all players is really well done. And I hope they keep at it. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I mean, this is all good news. I mean, it's, being able to do that so fast and be able to throw that stuff out there, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll talk about it here in a little bit more, but
Yeah.
I'm very excited that they're, keeping up already, and supporting, instead of just kind of waiting for a big patch later on.
Yeah, a month later,
Yeah.
So guys, if you're into Borderlands 3 right now, we're going to touch on that. We're going to do Dan's review here in a short while. Bert, anything to touch on this one?
Yes.
No. Okay.
That was sarcasm, I can take it.
Right over our heads.
All right, we'll move on.
Yeah.
All right, so last week, so we've been getting listener questions, and just to remind everyone, as we always do, send an email to bitcast@seasongaming.com if you have a question you'd like to see us discuss. And sadly, we actually discussed this question last week extensively, but I figured we'd touch on it this week. We don't have to spend 5 minutes on it or anything. But we got a question basically asking us, what genre of games was popular at one point in the industry and then kind of faded away. And I know a couple weeks ago we talked about the music games like Rock Band and Guitar Hero, which is probably a good example. But which one would the three of us like to see return back to the mainstream? And so I figured we'd just touch on this again real quick to talk about some of the things we'd like to see return. So, Bert, you want to hit us off on this one?
Mine was really quick. It's a lot of fun. Back in probably the 90s and even 80s, it's the dual stick top-down shooter. So Super Smash TV is probably the best example. I think was a big part of my childhood. I can't tell you how many quarters I spent on it. I really would love to see a game that would get the AAA budget, big campaign, big story, 20 plus hours, etc. to have that and have the multiplayer aspect built into it as well. So something to play with your friends, either couch co-op or online co-op, and just see something very high quality. I think Halo tried it with what was that, Spartan Assault game, I think it was called. Yeah, and it was good, but it was still missing some of the magic that existed back in the old day. So I would love to see that genre come back and really get the AAA budget for me.
Yeah, Smash TV is just one of my all-time favorites. I adored that game. When it came out on Super Nintendo, played the hell out of that.
I don't think I ever played that one on consoles. I played it at the arcade a lot, though.
Yeah, Super Nintendo version's pretty good because it's not like it was a high requirement game.
Right.
And a lot of people may forget, I'm sure Bert will remember, but they actually made a sequel to it, which wasn't a game show based, but it played like it was total carnage. And they kind of went even more over the top. I mean, it was just explosions and guts and death everywhere. So, really cool game. But you could blow through quarters. I mean, you would be putting a quarter in like every 30 seconds in that game.
Yep. It was really funny because you would be running around with the stick, and then you would get set in a corner, and then you'd have to just get by the corner just to get around all the mayhem that was going on around you, and you'd have to circle around. It was so much fun. So I'd love to see something like that.
Yeah, I adored it, and I want to go back and play it. Now I have it over there. I'm going to play it one of these nights.
We're just going to play it after this podcast, boys. Mine was it was space combat simulators like X-Wing and
Wing Commander.
Wing Commander, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, it was funny because we talked about that, and then I saw on Twitter where Free Space 2, which is also a space, that's probably one I played a ton, was free on one of those launchers. There was 15 of them.
One of the PC launchers.
Yeah. Just a quick side note. I now understand why PC players are upset with having so many launchers. It's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess.
You get it. You have to get like Ubisoft games on Epic Games, and then you have to get the Uplay launcher just to launch it. I'm like, what in the heck is happening? Anyway, side note. But yeah, I miss those games. I miss those, I want a really good one. I know that we have Everspace and the Elite Dangerous, but they're just not, they don't have that panache. Thank you, Saturday morning. Words.
Welcome to the Vocabulary Podcast.
Yes. Somebody's going to say plethora here in a minute. We're going to just hit every note. But I've really, really missed those games. I love those games, especially like X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter. Anything with Star Wars. They had a game called Rebel Alliance, which was same engine, but it had more of a little story. It was so much fun. I really, really miss those games.
Yeah, and I remember saying Wing Commander I played a lot on 3DO. Wing Commander 3 with Mark Hamill.
Hamill.
Fantastic game. But those games at the time, they were narrative driven and choice driven. And like I was saying last week, was that I really like to see the same thing, like those old school BioWare games.
Yeah.
I think that's why so many people are excited for Outer Worlds, because it just feels like those old school BioWare or Bethesda games. When Bethesda make games that, once every 10 years. So yeah, I'm in that same boat. I think the only other thing I think we talked about was couch co-op games in general. I know Bert touched on it with Smash TV, but just, the ability to have kind of party or 4-player games with friends locally has kind of gone away, and I think it'd be fun to see a lot of that return. So anyway, thanks for the question. Appreciate it. That's from our friend, the Gaming Dad. And if you have a question you'd like to see us talk about, please send those in or reach out to us on Twitter. Anyway, what are we currently playing, guys? We're going to get the Borderlands 3 review here right afterwards, but I know you guys are playing some other things. I've pretty much only been playing Borderlands and Gears, so I don't have too much to say on this one, but looks like you're playing Link, you're playing Monster Hunter World for some strange reason.
Because it's good. So here's the thing with Monster Hunter World. I know that one's not for everybody at all. And for me, when I first started playing that game, I was like, what is this? I totally wasted $60. And then the combat's so specific and different than anything else I've ever played.
It's actually a lot like Dark Souls.
It's not. Because I can play this game. Now, the difficulty, it's kind of, there's no difficulty settings. So there are times, you got to grind a little bit. And I've noticed this in Iceborne, which is awesome. They basically made everything again and then turned it cold. So, which isn't a bad thing because the game is so much content, but it's very, very difficult. You really have to make sure that you have the right equipment. You really have to make sure you have the right weapons. You have to, grind out a few, levels just to be able to take on some of these things, and they are tough. I am stuck at one, and I need somebody to come and help me. So if anybody's playing Monster Hunter World Iceborne on the PlayStation 4, please let me know. And jump in and help me defeat Bareth, I think is what it's called. He's a bitch. So I don't like him. He has killed me probably 7 times now. And that's 3 times each go around, so that's 21.
There's a big community behind that game. I'm sure you could find some people to help you out.
I know. I got it.
Greg.
Oh, no. that would just be a nightmare. Short of that, I've been playing Link's Awakening, and it's awesome.
That's really just a fun to play, right?
It's so much fun, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so much fun. Love it. Love that game.
Nice.
So I'm doing a lot of different things as well. I have Link installed, but I have not started it just because work just kicked my butt this week. I've been trying to get through Control as much as I can. If you are a Remedy fan in any form, Alan Wake, Quantum Break, all those types of things that have come out from Remedy, Max Payne, this game is for you. It is fantastic. It is so awesome. And then I'm still trying to get through Dirt Rally 2.0. It is a big game, and funny enough, I bought it, and then sure enough, it's on Game Pass. So it's the big advantage there. I don't have to change discs anymore for that one, but it's kind of a shame that I just bought it last month. Not as much gaming time this week as I wanted, but then we're still doing Gears, and Gears has been fun as can be multiplayer-wise, so a lot of fun.
Yeah, like I said, I'm all I do is play Borderlands unless it's late at night and someone wants to play Gears with me. Then I play Gears multiplayer. So I've actually already re-upped. So I'm ranked like 115, 120 in Gears 5 multiplayer already. Just playing the hell out of it, loving it. It's really, really, really good. And Borderlands 3, let's get to it. So Dan did the review for us. Gave it sensational on our meter, which equates to roughly a 9. We always say kind of roughly because we try to focus less on the score and more about the content of the game. And so Dan and I have both finished it. We would talk at length about it more if this remote player in Austin cared a little more about Borderlands, for shame. But so Dan, why don't you touch on kind of what made the game special or sensational to you, and we can kind of both talk about it.
Well, okay, so it's definitively Borderlands. All right, there's not a whole bunch in here that's oh man, that was way different. There are for sure. There are they've updated the mechanics. The guns feel great.
Amazing.
I really kind of equate it to like Rage 2, which the game I didn't like that much, but the guns were so much different and they felt different. And they're very very similar. It's a very similar mechanic to that.
It's just so smooth.
It's super smooth.
Yeah.
And everything works really really well. Story wise, it's again Borderlands. The writing is
over the top.
Poop and fart jokes, and it's all over the place. That's what it is, man. And the itch that I have has been scratched, and I no longer have that itch. So because I've played Borderlands, it's hard to sit here and because I can review Borderlands 2 kind of the same way, and then just talk about improvements to what they've done. The skill trees are fantastic. They did a really good job with that. As far as like the loot raid drops, I don't know all the crazy equations.
You
and stuff.
You apparently did not do well.
I did not. I had very very bad luck. I had a lot of sniper rifles and rocket launchers. It seemed like that was all I got. Sometimes pistols. I get the box of 4, but very very rarely did I get like shotguns or SMGs, which were my main weapons. What I used. I played through as Amara. She's a very close combat player. You really want to kind of get in the action the way I had to build, because it benefited you to get up close. So it was just getting really really frustrating. But I understand that that's just my playthrough. It was just so much fun. It was kind of nice to get back to Pandora. It was kind of nice to see all the old characters. I really would like to have seen some more. It would have been cool to bring back Salvador, not what was it, Axton?
Axton.
Yeah, he can go kiss my butt. I mean he was terrible. But just bring some more guys back. I mean that would have been really cool. I mean, and the game was so big. I think they could have done it. There were some logs that you can pick up. That talked about, was it Craig?
Craig, yeah. The logs for Craig are really interesting.
They're great.
Yeah.
So they did it's a lot of fan service.
Tons of fan service.
Yeah. In your article, you talked about it, and it's really like a love letter to Borderlands fans, and I'm fine with it. And I really, really had a good time with it. The only really big negative that I had with it was a lot of the missions, especially side missions, were very, very similar. It was, hey, go over here, kill these guys, grab that thing, kill some more guys, grab that thing, and then put it in this hole.
Just kind of pushing you through battles.
Right, yeah. And I did have a few issues with leveling, which was just weird to me, but for the most part, I think I ended it on 42 or 43. That was my level when I finished
you beat the game.
Yeah.
I was 42.
Yeah.
But then you and I did almost all the side content too. My son finished it. He's like, I already beat the game. I'm like, what level are you? He's like 31. I'm like, what the?
That's what my son did. He was like 32. I was like, come on, man. That's okay.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think the more I've played it, and I continue to play it now, like I said, for months, I'll play this game endlessly. The more I play it, the more you see how much bigger and expansive it is than Borderlands 2. It's a massive, massive game. I think just campaign alone, if you do side stuff, you're looking 40, 50 hours. Yeah. I mean, and then, that doesn't even touch on exploring a bunch of the places. And there's 5 planets.
Yeah.
One of them's really small. I hope they do some DLC there. But, the story just keeps going, and it keeps getting good. The Typhon guy at the end is really cool. He's just a really good character. And it's beautiful. It's an Unreal Engine 4 now. So the new engine. And the HDR, the colors
Oh, yeah.
and just the skyboxes, and I could just go on. It's really impressing me. And of course, I love all the culture references. I sent you guys a picture yesterday. I found a
Yeah.
legendary grenade in an ammo box. Because I'm playing on Mayhem 2 now. So
Okay.
the loot drop rate is like way up. But I found a grenade in an ammo box that is a reference to The Expanse,
Yeah.
which is a show I love. And I saw someone else got a grenade yesterday that has a reference to Destiny. It's called the Dinklebot grenade. And there's just stuff like that that just references so many different games and pop culture stuff, and it's just fantastic. And Tiny Tina, rock on! You're awesome. I love you. So
Too much.
hey, she's of age now. Calm down.
All right.
But anyway, Borderlands 3, we are loving the hell out of it. One day we'll get Bert to see the light. But for now, if you have any questions about it, any questions on the review or article, check out our site, and we're happy to talk more about it. But
100%.
Bert, anything you want to say on Borderlands 3? And all joking aside, I know you do like Borderlands. You just kind of a little burnout on the shooter-looter. You'll get to it eventually. Any questions or any comments?
No, I think I've heard from you guys quite a bit about it. It's something I will get to eventually. Maybe when that itch needs to be scratched, that will be the ointment that will take care of it.
Yeah, you need to get the other stuff
It's a
checked
big
out.
bottle of ointment.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, funny enough, I still wanted to play the Handsome Collection and go back and play even the Game of the Year edition for Borderlands 1.
Yeah.
And I started playing a little bit of them, and I was like, man, I'm not going to do this all over again. So maybe I need some more time to get there and to get into this one. But yeah, I'll play it eventually. It's just not anywhere on my top 10 list to play this fall.
Like, I love Borderlands 1 to death. It's one of my favorite kind of all-time games. But when you go back to it now, it does feel dated.
Even the Game of the Year?
Yeah, I mean, Game of the
Remaster,
Year in 4K. It looks great.
Yeah.
The 4K and HDR updates were beautiful, especially on Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel dated. Borderlands 3 is such a big step up. And I will say, for anyone who's listening who played Borderlands 3 and kind of started to play maybe the first 5 hours and is like, oh, this feels very samey, because we even said that when we first started playing it. It really, really grows and expands as you get into the game. So stick with it. But all right, let's go ahead and move on to Name That Game. I doubt I'm going to nail it on the first question again this week, but Dan is hosting us. So Bert and I will give it our best shot here. Let's see what you got. Did you go...
I'm not even going to say anything.
Did you decide to go hard?
Yeah. I got to find it now.
Come on.
All right, I got it.
Come on.
No, I'm not even going to say the difficulty level because I have no idea.
All right.
So you won't get it on the first one. Probably.
Who's got? Am I guessing first or Bert?
I don't know, but I know you're hosting.
You're going because you're hosting.
I am.
It's all you, sir.
All right, this is a very vague question, but then again, this is what happened last week. It was released in 1999 for the Windows operating system. PC game.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
That's all we get. Holy crap.
That's it. Well, you can't do two in a row where we get.
Okay. What do we got?
Number
99. 99 in Windows. Oh boy.
Woo! Taking you back.
Yeah, and I wasn't that at that time. I had just kind of gotten out of PC gaming.
Oh, that's good.
Oh boy. Let's go with. I don't even know what year that was. It wasn't 99. I don't know. I'll just say Diablo 2.
Nice. No.
I'm kind of the same way. I was just coming out of PC gaming around this time.
Because Dreamcast released in
towards the
99.
end. Yeah. Half-Life 2.
Ooh, that's a good one too. No. So this might. I hope you guys don't know who this is, but it was developed by Relic and then published by Sierra Studios.
Oh, okay.
That should narrow it down quite a bit.
Sierra, man, some of all-time
Oh,
greats of my youth.
For real.
I'd like to use my clue.
Go for it, man.
Is it a first-person shooter?
No.
I'm going to use my question too, and I'll
Yes.
go ahead and help Bert. Is this a point-and-click adventure?
Point-and-click adventure, no.
Okay.
Okay, so Relic, not a shooter. Wow, this would be interesting here.
We're in for the long haul.
Vigilante 8.
No. This game.
Huh?
Vigilante 8.
Vigilante 8? Yeah,
Yeah.
great game.
Great game.
Yeah. So with that, my guess will be Twisted Metal Black, which I absolutely know it's not, but I'm going to guess it anyway.
That's a
Because
negatory.
we need a new Twisted Metal.
Yeah. Okay, so that's no and no. All right. Currently, sits at a 93. Not that it's going to change
Currently.
anytime soon. 93. I don't know why I wrote currently on Metacritic. It was the highest rated PC game of that year, and the fourth highest across all platforms in 1999.
I'm going to use my second question.
Yes.
Is this a game in a series?
Yeah. You could have saved that
Meaning like
question.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
There's several of them.
several. Okay, perfect.
That was a clue for later.
I'd like to use my clue beforehand.
Oh, we're coming hard here.
Yeah.
All right.
Does this franchise still exist in gaming today?
Like, can you get the game still?
No,
Or is
he
it still
means
going
are they
on?
still
Yeah,
making games?
Sure. Kinda.
Okay.
They're still making
Yes.
new ones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. That makes it even harder. I think that hurt.
Yes. Well, this next question.
We're gonna go with King's Quest 6.
Yo. No.
Dragon Age. I don't know.
No. All right.
We're gonna struggle in this one. I can tell.
Well, this is a really very short clue. It is a RTS.
Oh, I'm back in.
Back in. He's back in the game.
Okay.
All
Is
right.
my guess now right, or Andrew's
Yes.
guess?
Your guess.
Okay, my guess. RTS. Still made today. Command and Conquer. Red Alert.
But no.
I was gonna say too, because that was gonna be one of my guesses, but there's a lot of them, so you'd have to
there's a
pick
ton of
one.
them. Yep. Yes, there is.
Let's go
When did the
with
first one come out? I don't really know.
Age of Empires.
Oh,
No.
dang it. I might have a guess for it, but I don't think I
Jeez.
know what it is, no.
All right. Well, this might help you out. It's funny thing. I just downloaded Age of Empires for Xbox Game Pass PC.
Yes.
2 is coming out shortly.
Yeah, they remastered the first
Yep.
one. Yeah.
Not a sponsor. All right. Received a sequel. See, this is going to answer your question. In 2000, intended to be an expansion. True sequel was released in 2003, and another in 2016. That was actually a prequel to the original story.
Jesus.
No, maybe I don't know what it is, actually.
It's not those, because those are Blizzard. I'm just thinking StarCraft. RTS.
I love StarCraft.
Total War.
No. Also a good series.
Damn.
No?
Lot of
Okay.
questions.
This is what I thought it was, but it's probably not. Civilization.
No.
God damn.
Oh gosh, I gotta answer another question.
Hurt.
You're hurting, guys. It'll get easier. Not with this one, though. The game follows the Kushan exiles of the planet Karak. I can only say that much right now. I could have used that probably for
Oh
the
shit,
first
Bert.
one.
I mean, now we got it.
Now, I mean, you gotta really think of that one. You gotta really think. Don't focus
Can you say that again? It follows. Did you say Egyptian exiles?
No,
Is that what you
the
said?
Kushan. Kushan. Not Egyptian. This was one of those that I threw in the middle because I needed another clue, and I thought this was super vague, or it was super specific. It was actually pretty
I'm
specific.
gonna go with I have not played this game, so
Yeah, I definitely
You may not have played this game. I'm just telling you,
Jesus.
but I think you
RTS.
know what it is.
League of Legends.
No. Did that come out that early? No, certainly not. It's crazy.
I mean, my guess is clear here. It's got to be
Yes.
Altered Beast 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got it. All right.
Moving on.
Moving on. So what we got coming up? No. All right, so here we go. This is going to answer kind of one of your other questions. A new game was announced this year and is being crowdfunded, scheduled to release in 2022. Listen, it's so hard not to tell you exactly what this is, so you got to be very, very vague. Because we've gotten them so quickly lately. I figured,
No, I don't mind the difficulty. This is just out of my realm here.
No, you'll know what it
PC
is.
RTS after I was playing them. I
Trust me.
got nothing.
You're thinking. I think you guys are thinking in a very. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything else.
I literally.
Hey, I'm curious if listeners got this already.
Yeah, I'd love to know if someone's already got this. I don't even really have a guess here.
This next one will be a huge hint.
All right, Halo Wars
Will
the
it, though?
prequel.
Yes. No.
Gears Tactics. No, I'm kidding.
You just keep guessing, just throwing them out there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bert. That was my guess. I don't have
17.
anything.
I have a feeling it has something to do with those space RTS games. I can't remember the name. Everspace, even though I think that's a TV show.
No, it's a game, isn't it?
I think that's a
Yeah, it's Everspace.
It's a game. It's not an RTS, but it's a game.
No, that's a I don't know what it's called. Some weird game.
Yeah.
All right, you can get it on Xbox. That's not the clue. This is you absolutely can't. All right, so there were 2 remastered versions, or I'm sorry, it was there were remastered versions for the games that were put out by Gearbox, who now owns the IP. Now this should tell you right here. Now keep thinking of the old clues and put this all together. Put that all together. Ignore that whole cash-in exile thing. That was there for ruse. So let me repeat that. So Gearbox, who now owns the IP, released remastered version of the game. Or version.
Yeah, this is you, Bert.
Yeah. That clue was so all over the place that I don't even know where to start on again.
Just think Gearbox.
I think Borderlands.
Right.
Aliens, Colonial Marines, the prequel.
Yes. Yes. See, it's the problem. Borderlands is in your head.
It is.
Get
It's
out of
filled
your
with
head.
Borderlands info.
I think it was I said they announced this game and a new one for this year. Yeah.
When I think of Gearbox, I think of bad games and Borderlands.
That is true.
I
What
got
clue
nothing.
are we on, by the way, Dan?
We're like on 8.
Right. Yeah. I got 2 more left.
Yeah, I got nothing. Move on. Next. Otherwise, we're just going to sit here in silence for listeners, which is not good podcasting.
Yeah, but it buys you time. Each battlefield is actually a sphere, which allows 3D movement with your units anywhere inside said sphere. So think of a sphere.
I have not played this game.
You can
I
say
tell you
sphere
that.
as many times as you want. It's not going to help.
And you can go up, down.
I guarantee I
right.
have not played this game. I have no idea where we even are right now. I'm clueless. I can't even venture
are
a
we?
guess.
Hold on. Well, let me throw this one out there. Just a free one. All right. It was announced this year, the new one coming out in 2022 by Gearbox at like PAX East or West. Whenever they did a whole thing.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember.
Maybe
the show.
it might have been South by Southwest. I don't know.
Okay, so I still don't have a guess.
Alright.
I'm gonna pass. Go ahead, Bert.
Man, I thought you guys would get it at that.
Wasteland.
No, that is In Exile or somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Wasteland 3. Speaking of which.
Yeah.
All right, final
All right,
clue.
that's it.
Bert, you're first
I just
up.
figured this would give it away, but maybe not now. Now I feel bad. Set in space, you use your fleet to battle other fleets, making your way to reclaim a new world. So it's in space. It's an RTS. Space. RTS.
I'm gonna go with Jupiter Rising by the Wachowskis.
With Channing Tatum,
Yeah,
Mila Kunis.
it's a great game.
All right.
Great game.
Our final guess then. I'll just jump on Bert's here, and I'm gonna say Cloud Atlas, the game.
Damn it, man!
God.
I really thought this was going to be way easier.
What is it?
It's Homeworld.
Oh yeah, I know that game.
Yeah, everybody knows that. They literally
I never-
came out and said, "Hey, we're going to do Homeworld 3."
Yeah,
it's
no.
crowdfunded.
I never played it. In my mind,
Damn
was
it.
not there.
I never played any of those games.
No.
Such a good game.
Dang it.
I know some of our
Hey,
listeners
yeah.
are like, "Man, you guys are dumb." Like, I know
Yeah,
someone
well.
got that.
If you were a listener and did guess that game, let us know what
Yeah.
question you guessed it on. Because if this is like that much of a duh type game, I want to know how duh it was.
Yeah.
Well, we may be asking for something we don't want to hear on that one.
Yeah, that might be.
But anyway, all right, Dan, thanks. At least it was hard. It was a little different than our past few weeks, which have been pretty easy. So,
I thought it would be easier.
all right. Let's go ahead and close out episode 74 here, guys. So thanks for listening, as always. Truly appreciate it. A couple other things we've got going on here. So, can't speak. Bert just put up an article and video on the Game Gear Brook converter. So this is if you want to use an Xbox controller on the PS4, how it works, what it can do, what it can't do. He answers basically all your questions about it. So you can find that on our YouTube channel or on the site in written form. And then, funny enough, we always joke about Bert being here. He will be here in 2 weeks. And so we're going to have an on-site Bitcast with all three of us on the video upcoming here in the near future. And potentially film some other stuff while he's here, too. So stay tuned for that in the coming weeks. We're going to move on from that.
We're going to go get some side dishes. Get some barbecue
Get
places.
some barbecue, play some games, you know.
Yep. We should. We should just film the whole thing. Bring your GoPro.
Yeah, I've got his GoPro. It's
Oh,
upstairs.
you got one?
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
Let's do it.
All right, Bert. Anything else? What else you got upcoming that you want to talk about?
We've got another fun video on Wednesday. I'm just gonna say it's another fun one. So it's
Homeworld 2.
it's the best peripheral to use on Homeworld 1 from 1999.
Nice.
So,
A trash can?
there's a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys. We dragged this out long enough. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you next week. Hopefully this one gets published. See you then.